And I think that's the piece that Dr. Martin Luther King is speaking to, that education. And then the other part is, there may be some spaces where there are some white people who don't want to, but I believe with the work that I've done with a lot of my teachers who I love, 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 and most of them are white, there's a level of guilt. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the layer that we work with, because these systems and structures and the layers and the way things have built hundreds and hundreds of years, it's such a heavy lift, and it's so many pieces to peel back and truly try to understand the dynamics and the rationale as to why things are the way that they are, that there's a level of guilt, because when you have an awareness, you want to make a change, but you're like, well, how am I supposed to make this change? So it's easier to justify behaviors of some people of color who end up, getting into trouble, by blaming it on them. And granted, everyone has to take responsibility and ownership for decisions and things that they do. But, there are systems that have been in place, just as Barbara mentioned in the beginning, that school to prison pipeline. Like, there are systems that are put in place that make it difficult for some to succeed. And so those individuals who have a level of awareness, they cling to their friend of color who's quote unquote made it. Well, I got these, I like that Black person, or I like that Black person. And so that relationship ends up superseding the true desire or the willingness or the ability to grapple with all of these things. I mean, we are adults. This is just years. And I share with this, like, I am still learning. Me and Ingrid just talked last week, and I was just fussing, but we are still learning. So what better place to start with than these children, our babies? They're the individuals who are going to carry this torch on us. So there may be some pieces that we never get to, but the one thing that we can do is try to start embedding some of these pieces within our educational system. Other thoughts about the video or anything else?
I think something super interesting that stood out to me was how Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mentioned that humans, just as a people, we can't continue doing wrong without rationalizing the wrong. So that really stood out, because it makes me think that it's recognized that this is a wrong, like treating folks differently is a wrong thing, but because people have been able to rationalize it in their own brains, they've convinced themselves that it's okay. Which, so somewhere in there, they realize it's not the right thing. So I think that onus is upon us in a way to how do we reverse the rationalization? How do we make them realize that in your brain somewhere you realize this is wrong, that's why you've rationalized it? So that's definitely a challenge.
Such a great way to put it.